Just take them like.
Cross this out, right out there.
Photocopy it for us.
Put a mustache and this.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order with the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Tony Biancardi here, Jim Constantine,
Here.
and Andrew Scott is absent.
All right, approval of minutes from April 19, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second that. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Looks like we have a couple correspondence. Cleveland Cliffs, Burns Harbor, notice of water tracing dye use. May 9 through 12, 2023, outfall 1. And Cleveland Cliffs, Burns Harbor, notice of water tracing dye use, May 23, 24, 2023, outfall 2. Corinne, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but maybe one of these guys. So what's the significance now sharing that with us? It's like MS4 or storm related, just so we know when we see those.
I think on my side of it is one that we know, so if there's any reports or anything that's going on. And two, it allows us to absolutely record that we don't have any infiltration between the two, storm and sanitary.
So so they're testing at 2 of their outfalls then, is that what this is? So they're putting dye in to see if it comes out there. Okay, on their property?
Yes.
Okay, which they had mentioned months ago, that they felt like that infiltration. Okay, so we shouldn't be affected or see that.
We should get the report because it will be included in the annual report every year for the MS4.
But our storm drains and we won't see anything that's happening here. Okay. Any questions, Jim?
No.
Okay. Engineer reports.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Old business, future infrastructure projects. Bill, do you see anything out there other than Hamlet, which is on here? Do we have?
I mean, there's potential areas, but nothing that's been inquired about.
Okay. And are we able to clean ditches and do some of that we were talking about this
So
year?
we were working on, and we still are working on that. It's just working with the street department in between their schedule.
Right.
Of doing that, and recording that. Supposedly, I should probably check with Brandon to see if that's been passed down, but they had a schedule of the different areas to work on
Okay.
at different times, which they were doing. They started and they did 2 rounds of storm drain and intake cleanouts.
Okay.
So, but we did no ditching obviously this year, or do they have the equipment? We talked about that,
Right.
that we would have to look when we get closer to the actual infrastructure side of it on how we want to attack that, because obviously that's contractor work and money. So, but as far as the ditches themselves, they've been keeping up. As far as I know, it's not anything clogged or not this year.
And they're logging whenever they do something, even if it's like a call out, like this one's not draining, or they logging it, so we have that information. Would that be helpful?
I think it
Or
would be for tracing,
necessary?
probably should do that. I should have asked them about that. I assume they were because of the logs.
Right.
I haven't looked at it.
But maybe if they log it on their work, then that might need to be transferred to like a separate, like just.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I come up with a even just a log sheet that when they do any storm water. Maybe I'll lump it together, storm or sanitation type work that they log that, and I keep that separate. especially for tracking of the, since this is new to us, tracking of the MS4, because
Mhm.
they do ask us to record the data of maintenance on the facilities and the outfalls, and
Yeah,
that's
so
probably a good idea.
if something got clogged, or even just saying they went out and if they found something or it was just leaves or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
well, and again, because like I said, part of that is recording your actual maintenance of your
Mhm.
outfalls.
It's a monitoring schedule, so it'll be probably once a month.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, if they could do that, that would be good. Okay. MS4 program progress,
So, part B, I believe, will be the one to submit by October, but maybe because of the budget that is coming up here soon. Maybe we can finalize part B and send it at least as a draft to the town. Not send it to the state, but at least we can work on it as a draft. So hopefully by next month, you'll receive it. It's
And is
supposed to
this-
be 60 or-
is the form you've given us, is that part of part B?
It is, it's actually even part C, but you're way ahead of the program. So the form is actually for construction permit application. And you have to have a form for reviewing, or the process for reviewing. And after they fill this form, they will submit the plans will get reviewed, and the inspection will happen after the review of the plans. Or the commencement of the construction. Normally, they send an NOI or a notice of intent to item once we have the review. And the comments has been addressed. The item.
So do you want us to do anything with this tonight?
If you don't mind, we can discuss probably the fee. The most important part is the fee. I think I touched on it on the council meeting, and I said that this will be coming your way. That you will probably need to review the fee itself. If you are okay with it, we can finalize it and finalize this application and send it to the council.
Now, this fee, is it,
This is for the work, like review and work of plans.
well, I was just asking, about the fee, is that gonna be for contractors or?
Or anyone that, the owner basically of the project, whoever is applying for the construction, they have to fill this application and pay the fee. And it's $500 for the plan review. And that's based on the standard, I guess, fee that NDOT charges. That's how we came up with it, I guess.
Is that gonna be based on any kind of construction? Somebody's just gonna put it in the garage?
No, not at all. It's actually anything that is 1 acre, disturbance of 1 acre. or
Disturbance, okay.
Right.
That seemed to me like it sounded awful lot higher.
It is high, but it's definitely in line with all the municipality or the state that is around. Sometimes some of the municipality, they have a staff, on staff, or kind of the staff person actually that is doing other items, I guess, or other reviews, and they will charge $100 instead of $500. But again, the state is charging the $500, and per the inspection, per report, it's the $350. And keep in mind that what I'm saying per report, the reason that I'm saying per report, the requirement actually, it's a self-reporting. So the contractor might be able to do it and send us to the report, and Bill or us, anyone from the town can review the inspection report. And it has to be per week, it's a weekly inspection. Or per event, per rain event that is ½ inch or more.
Now I got a little confused there. An inspection per week. But you're showing $350 inspection fee.
It's $350 per inspection.
Now, did I misunderstand? You just said a per inspection every week.
That's correct.
That's
If
good
they
thought.
don't want to do it. So my point, I guess, that the 350 is per inspection. So it's not,
Wait, you just said if they don't want to do it.
If they don't want to self-report, they don't have a qualified person.
Okay. So what does self-reporting involve?
So
The contractor has to have a qualified person to inspect their own work,
Okay,
and they have to submit that report to us,
okay,
or to the town.
okay,
If they don't do it themselves, if the project is gonna take a month, it's gonna cost them $1,200 just for inspection fees.
right, if they don't do
If
it
they don't.
themselves, yeah,
and this doesn't include, like me being the MS4 coordinator. It does not include, I'm still going to be out doing site inspections and things like that. That's totally separate from this. This is the actual required report that they have to inspect, keep up. So really the fee is to kind of encourage that property owner or designated person to comply, to do the inspection, keep up with the erosion control policies, and to report those on a weekly basis. Some communities on larger projects, they're doing this on a daily inspection. But us as a smaller community and smaller events, you're able to stretch that out to, you know, once a week or per event. Like if we have a large rain event, then we want that report immediately after that event.
I have been sure about it.
But okay, now you're saying a qualified person, and then they can report out. What makes the person qualified?
They have to have a training, and they have to have some knowledge of the erosion control.
Well, I'm getting that sounds awful high.
It is,
Is that a
it's
set, statewide set fee, or is that what we're wanting to set?
that's what you want to set, and that's what we are recommending based on NDOT. That's how NDOT is charging.
so,
So it's a similar agency that they deal with this just about every project that they do. So it's the standard of the.
But then, it is a standard, and it's not just what we want to do, it's what the standard is.
It is the standard, but it's completely up to you. It's within your privy to actually even have the inspection fee or not. So it's completely up to you.
And
And
again,
then I gotta get in my head, so that's an acre large area, not just the guy that does the garage or something.
right,
And keep in mind, one other thing to keep in mind as well, that if the project is more than 5 acres disturbance, for example, that requires something even more restrictive. They require actually not just erosion control plan, it's a soil and water quality control plan. So they do require more if the disturbance is more.
so we have time though to
Absolutely.
think about this,
Absolutely.
because I think that what came up that I didn't actually think about is we don't have a budget for MS4, and we would need a place for this money to go when we collect it, right? So we would need, like you said, the line item.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can talk with Jane, and is like, would that be something that would be totally outside of like the CCI sewer, right? It would be.
I would imagine.
It would be something MS4
Right,
for the money to go to, and or if the town general fund had to pay for things, she would probably. Would she pay for it or move it into the MS4 and then out? Do you know what I'm saying?
I would have to
Okay.
refer to Jane to answer that question.
Obviously, we don't have any income, but we're going to be taking in money and paying out money.
So I imagine that's kind of the purpose of these fees, is to help pay for the program.
No, it's right.
Right.
Yeah,
That is-
Now, can we
That's something
even start charging these fees until the other stormwater management ordinance is adopted?
Absolutely.
I mean, that would be,
Yeah.
we,
Absolutely. So the main thing, I guess, is if you, this is a mandated program that is non-funded.
right,
So
understood.
it's definitely anything that is money collected from this program, it goes to the fund of the program itself. Or the storm board for this matter.
Mhm.
So as long as the storm board has a budget and a line item for MS4 and capital projects, I think that's what they're looking for. It's a management system for the entire storm system.
Okay.
So any funding that is received or paid out, it has to be probably through the storm board.
Mhm.
That kind of answers another question I had about where's the money going? When this is collected, but that would keep it from the town citizens that have to pick up the.
As much as it can, I mean,
And
eventually.
all that would go to out and that's for.
That's correct. So another thing to keep in mind as well, other communities similar size, they are charging a user fee, that is a monthly fee. For example,
Yeah.
they're charging $9, I believe.
You know, that this will keep us from having to charge ourselves.
Well, maybe,
You-
a little bit, a
You-
little bit.
It's starting to drop off. And eventually it'll stop here when these subdivisions get done. Okay.
So Bill, on that same note, though, if you can think ahead, will you have another training next year? You know, will there be conferences that you need to go to? If you could come up with those numbers so that we don't have money, we don't have revenue, but we're going to be spending money, so that'll at least help the council have an idea of here's how much we are gonna need to help support and this for people. And then Corinne, if you have any ideas, even just a ballpark of like printing or, you know, something like that. Let's put the numbers together,
Okay,
so we can start somewhere at least and see.
Is there something that we're be have to give the contractors a guideline that to go by, something in writing?
Yes,
That you will put this up, you'll put that down,
correct. Definitely the contractor, part of the site plan, they will have to do the engineering plan. They will have to do an erosion control plan along with it, that it's actually designed by the engineer as well.
All right, so I say let's keep this, because really it's probably just the fees. Let's have it again in August. And then hopefully when Jane will have a little more information, like, or guidance for the budget. Like Shem said, can we just add a line item to the storm? How might we do that? And then if we've got a general number of, okay, here's the amount of support we might need,
mhm.
we can pass that on to the.
And then we'll have to adopt an ordinance in some form. Is that something we're gonna do a public hearing here for, or we just wanna send it all to the council?
If I'm not mistaken, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead.
if I'm not mistaken, I think any fees that is collected by any board of the town has to go through the council.
Yes.
It does, I
Right,
guess the question is, where would the public hearing happen, here or at the council level?
I think it'd have to be at the council level. You could start the process here and like make the recommendation to the
Got it.
council that this is the
Okay.
ordinance that we're suggesting, so we do the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Okay.
So once we determine, yes, that's what we wanna do, then we can. Okay. Haglund Road Storm Sewers.
So we received, we received the quote actually from, the cleaning and the vacuum, company, Eagle Service.
Mhm.
And it's a $2,000 per day and $300 per load. As they don't know what to expect and how bad is the debris and the pipe itself and the catch basins. They are saying that it's $2,000 per day, which I see their point as well. I talked to Bill about it, and I think the town is already using Eagle Services for other items.
So this is for them to try to clean out what's collapsed or damaged over here.
Well, is to see what is damaged and
Okay.
what's collapsed. I think our recommendation is to go probably not to exceed the 10,000.
I was gonna say, because like they could keep going, right?
Right.
Where do we say stop and let's?
Reassess or clear the
Yeah,
area itself. I think at this time, we can recommend probably up to 10,000
Okay.
and then stop and then come back if there's an issue or a major.
and then are you gonna run the camera?
So that's the first step, to have them clean it and jet it. We'll see what we're getting on the return
Mhm.
when they pull it back. Because they'll obviously clean that part out. And if it looks like we're not getting a whole lot of debris, then we're gonna run the camera down and see where the deficiencies are. So we're gonna work it and
And then we think we might be able to line it. based
Depending on the
this?
condition, correct. So the lining normally, the design of the thickness of the lining and the lining itself, if it's gonna work, it has to have a pipe
Mhm.
to actually be lined in. If it doesn't have a bottom, that means that we can't.
Mhm.
If it's collapsed, we can't. But if it's electrical, that's okay.
Okay.
So depending on the condition of the pipe, I guess.
Do you know where are we gonna start or where are we gonna go in from, like?
From Westport all the way to Stanley.
Okay, so we're gonna try to clean and get through all that.
So we'll go the direction, we'll pull back the actual flow of the system. So we'll go in that direction. So we'll actually start here, go up, pull back, then we'll go next to the next inflow, same thing. The inlet rather, and then start there. So like me and Chip were talking, your discussion project. As long as we can go to each inlet and pull from there, our chances of being able to clean and not get stuck or something's a lot greater, so.
Do you have any questions, Jim? And you think? Enough, but we don't know what we're getting into,
No.
right? And we can't,
Over 2,000.
Right, yeah, okay. And Corinne, we have that, right, allocated and available.
Yeah, we haven't spent anything this year out of CCI sewer. We did earmark 64,751 of that as part of that project that was on hold for Haglund Road, so.
Right. And we're good because we already have a relationship with Eagle to contract with them.
Mhm.
Okay, we don't need to ask others. All right. You wanna make a motion, Jim?
Yeah, for a limit of $10,000 and stop and
Not to exceed.
regroup on it, not, yeah, make a motion that not to exceed $10,000 until getting revisit.
I'll second that motion then to engage Eagle Services for that service not to exceed 10,000. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And then when will they start?
I didn't ask him about his schedule, but I think as soon as possible.
Just not this week, right?
No.
Yeah, the race on that
No.
day. Now, you never know though, you know how people's schedules like, oh, just zip right over and start that.
In fact, Weasel Valley actually wanted to start this Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember, but I said, no, you're gonna start Monday.
Yeah, you're gonna wait till Monday.
So June 24th.
All right, new business, the 2024 budget, I think we talked about that a bit, we just need to have a line added. And any advice from Jane on how to go about those things, but an idea of what we might spend next year. Financial report. We just spent some money, so we'll see that next month. We have no claims tonight. Go to the order of the community and any other business.
Motion adjourned then.
Second that. Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Fancy flyers.
Oh, we already did before you got here. We said because no way Bill could have done those.
Would you
That-
tell them, Brandon, I helped a little bit.
That was totally.
Yeah,
a
he
Bill
did.
thing.